My name's Tom Bell. I'm a digital director at Defeye Creative. We're a creative agency, so we specialise in everything from branding to web design to graphic design, print design, digital, video, and that sort of stuff.
I'm Matt Pritchard. I'm visual director at a small multidisciplinary creative agency called Defeye Creative.
I went to college. I first wanted to be a sound engineer, and I went to college to kind of study that, but got lumped in with kind of doing media production and got into kind of like video really. Then went to uni to study media production at uni, so did everything, but then kind of found my way and kind of went down the sort of more digital route.
We launched the business 5 years ago this month. We met, me and the three other company directors, we met working at Chesterfield College. We've all been working freelance separately, occasionally working together on some projects, and we decided that it was about time to try and bring those skills together in a more formal way rather than doing it kind of ad hoc freelance, and try and do something a little bit more structured.
Then I got an opportunity to teach at college where I studied, and then I did that for a few years. At the same time, kind of then met a couple of people that I've now got a business with, and then started doing kind of project work on the side of kind of doing like promo videos and stuff like that, as well as kind of doing other bits and pieces on the other side of the creative spectrum, like kind of design work and stuff like that, but not me personally, but the guys that I were working with. We decided to create a company, and it took off, and that's what we now do.
I think the core skill that you need, whether you are pursuing a career as an employee in industry, whether you're looking at being a camera operator, sound operator, whatever it is and going down that path, or whether you're looking at being self-employed, freelance, or trying to start up your own business, it's just about having a bit of get up and go, not waiting to be told what to do, not waiting to be asked to do something, actually just going out and doing it. So whether it's your first day as a runner on a film set making cups of tea, don't wait to be asked to pick up that cable that needs tidying away, just get on and do it. If you can't find a client that wants you to make content for them, go and make content for them and then give it to them or sell it to them later on. It's about being proactive. That's the biggest kind of skill that I think is important in this industry, is not waiting for somebody to give you anything. You've got to go out and start just making stuff and doing stuff for yourself.
One is determination. So you've got your kind of broader skills like determination, being pretty adaptive as well. You've got to kind of be flexible and just kind of a bit of a grafter as well. Obviously there's times when you're kind of like, oh, I just don't want to do this, but you've got to kind of go, right, yeah, I'll do it, and not saying no to things, just go, yeah, I'll have a go and do it. But you've got to have a bit of there's kind of two sorts of people. You've either got to be a creative type or somebody that's kind of a bit more sort of technical, and if you can mix them two together, who both of those, brilliant. But yeah, I'd say quite logical, that'll help. Being a good communicator as well, you've got to be someone that can talk to people and that can get along with people. If you're kind of just going to sit and look at the floor, you ain't got no chance. You've got to be kind of able to communicate and get along with people, and I always kind of say, if you don't ask, you don't get. And so you've got to have that kind of mantra as well, I say. Other than that, have the kind of ability to kind of see things a little bit differently if you can. You know, kind of explore things and experiment, and be not afraid to kind of push boundaries.
I think there's a lot of factors that differentiate the many film and TV students that don't quite make it, that don't end up going on to use their skills in the mainstream industry or in any form of film and TV industry, to those that actually genuinely do. One is taking advantage of opportunities that are given to you. Never turn your nose up at an opportunity. If you're asked, like I say, to make cups of tea, you take that opportunity, you go and you do it. You make sure that people know who you are. There's nothing worse in the film and TV industry than nobody remembering you. If you go onto a film set, you want to make sure that that assistant director knows your name, that they've got your mobile number, that they can ring you up. And unfortunately, I've seen a lot of people, both my peers and even myself as a 18, 19-year-old, when I was getting my first opportunities, I didn't always take advantage of them, and I see it, frustratingly, I see it on young people now when we take on work experience, when we take on people for projects. They leave that opportunity without having taken full advantage of it. And I think the people that succeed, every opportunity they're offered, they take it and they maximise that opportunity, and they just do the best job they can in those situations.
I'd probably say that desire to kind of want it. I think if I look back at the kind of people that I've either sort of worked with or that I've kind of that I've kind of met as students and stuff like that, you've got those people that are like, that want it, and there's people that are just kind of like, well, I don't really know what I want, or I'll just do it because it's there. It's there. I think that's kind of like those. But then you've got within those people that want it, you've got people that have got like an ability, a creative ability. So people that can kind of create stuff and have a bit more of a creative thinking mind. And that probably sets out those people. But I'd say that's all about how you kind of go about yourself as well, about what you take in and what you can do, because I'm a firm believer that everybody's got a creative bone in their body. It's just which bit of the creative spectrum is it? You know, some people are great at kind of like, you know, concept driven stuff. Some people are great at the more technical side of things. Some people are great at kind of drawing. Some people are great at, you know, photography and things like that. You know, there's kind of all sorts of kind of different things that you can kind of be creative with, and you've just got to kind of find your specialism, I guess.
I think the advice that I would give to young filmmakers, young people that want to progress in creative industries today, would be you've got more opportunity than any previous generation to make your own content. If you go back even 10 years, the equipment and the cost of equipment to go and make content was so prohibitive that actually it was incredibly difficult to build a show reel or to build a body of work that could show off your skills without spending a lot of money or taking advantage of being in an educational establishment. I think with the way the cost of equipment has tumbled over particularly the last 5 years, you can get industry level equipment on a fraction of the cost that you could 10 years ago. And I think you just need to get out there, get buying your kit, get out making stuff. It doesn't matter whether it's serious stuff, whether it's stuff that's just a joke between you and your mates. Get a YouTube channel set up, get a Vimeo channel set up, get your content growing and growing and growing, and just make as much content as you can. The industry is no longer London-centric. The industry is no longer as driven by nepotism as it was. So therefore, just get out and be a filmmaker. Do that now. Don't wait for somebody to employ you to do it. Just go out and be a filmmaker.
Oh, good question. I suppose the reason why I do what I do is I just enjoy it. I really, really get a buzz from it. I think, like I say, growing up as a kid, I didn't consider myself to be that creative. I'm rubbish at drawing. And like I say, I kind of started to kind of farm stuff out there. I was, I'm pretty good at this. And I got a buzz from it. And when you make something and it looks brilliant and you kind of go, whoa, I've done it, I've cracked it, that looks amazing. And people say, oh, that's great. I go, that buzz kind of sets you off on the next one. So you're kind of always thinking, I want to do that again. Yeah, and I suppose it's that as well. I suppose I've got a bit of a inner self that wants to please folk, and I suppose kind of that's what I do. We make stuff for people that helps them out in a way. Yeah, I like making stuff, and it happens to be digital stuff.
I think the reason that anybody does what they do in this industry is because they've got a passion for some element of filmmaking. For me, it was telling stories. Always loved telling stories. Writing short stories, writing scripts, transitioning into making those into short films. And then later on in life, realising how I could use those skills to tell stories for other people. Not always my stories, but finding a way that I think I've got a real sense for and a real drive for, that narrative should exist in every piece of work that you make, whether that's a 30-second TV ad or a music video or a short film. Narrative should be at the heart of it, and I just love telling stories. So the fact that I get to get up every day and think about ideas and tell stories, whether they're my stories or other people's stories, but find the best way of bringing those to life, I find that really constantly interesting. So it's a good way to live, I think.